Hola, bienvenidos mis amores. Hey everyone, Vanessa Codorniu here. I'm so excited. Welcome to this crazy, wild, and beautiful 2026. Today is the day after the lunation of the new moon in Capricorn, and I just jumped off my Bruja Rising group. We have two meetings a month, the new moon and then the full moon, and we release and seed on the new moons if it's appropriate. We also talk about the astrology, do some readings, and in the full moon as well, we hop on, talk about the astrology, explore the records, get the guidance and the wisdom and the community support that we need. So if you're interested in Bruja Rising, let me know. I'll put the link in or I'll answer any questions. If you've taken a class with me before, it's less. If you've just met me, it's a little more. So let me know and let's get into this new moon in Capricorn. So I haven't talked to you in a while, people, because a lot has been going on. Um, very involved in a lot of creative ventures, and also the death of a friend of mine, a dear, dear friend that I knew for 28 years. Diane Pena. Some of you who are listening may have been in Circle with us. We started doing circles in 1999 in New York City. We did in her apartment, in my apartment, and almost every month. We did it for over 10 years. This is before it was trendy. This is before circles, were all aesthetic events where we had to show them everywhere. And I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I'm just saying that there was a time when people just did things and just serve their community. And I do believe that there's people who are just doing that as well. And again, I ain't mad at all of us charging for our circles as well, because we have to make a living as healers and as givers and holders of space. But there was a time where, for me, I never thought of this as a business. This was just a way of life, and it was a way to serve my community. And so it was with Diane. And so she passed a month ago. And the busyness and passing and traveling back to New York City, I've been delayed in doing this episode. But she was definitely someone that really, really supported me. I've got my drink here, my little protein shake. I don't like the way it looks. She definitely supported me in creating the circles and really believed in my work. And so I want you to know she's an amazing person, amazing friend, and gone too soon. So that's still on my heart. And thankfully, as a psychic medium, I do receive messages from her. And that's the benefit, right? When you've taken the time to develop your intuition, or it's something that you already came in with, and then developed it as well, you get to see around the other side of the curtain. And that is a blessing, right? Because to hear messages from her and telling me how she passed or that she's okay has been really, really a blessing. And it lightens your heart to know that the people that you love aren't suffering on the other side. And that's something that really, for me, has helped me tremendously with all of the losses that I've dealt with. So, and if anyone's looking for a mediumship session or an intuitive session or soul record session, I've still got my special rates. So reach out and let's do that. But for now, let's focus a little bit on our new moon in Capricorn. So I have some notes. So this is the first new moon of this calendar year. It is an energetic reset. It is an intentional portal. There's some new moons where it's not the best idea to manifest. It's more or seed. It's more to clear and release and be chill and just re-energize. This is a particular moon where it is a good time to be intentional. So it came in yesterday around almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's really about, it's not about manifesting faster or doing this. It's about building wiser. And so this new moon in Capricorn is about building wiser. Now, it's in Capricorn, and it's a new moon. What's a new moon? New moon is usually when you look up at the sky, we do not see a moon. The moon is always there, but from our vantage point, we don't see it. It's an inward energy. And we have the sun just going into Aquarius. We have the moon in Capricorn. And it is about planting seeds. It's not really about harvesting. It's about going within us, clearing the mindsets, clearing the funk or the energy, or even going outside of us, clearing up our home, our closets. I've been doing some of that, and making the way so then the new can be planted and can grow and can be nurtured. So in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have some gentle momentum, some aligned actions, right? The Capricorn twist is that intentions are rooted in reality. right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to get, let's be realistic, let's be grounded. And that doesn't mean that magic can't happen and miracles can't happen. And it's really about, it's not about goals that are being checked off. It's not like tick, 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 I've checked off 10 goals. It's more about a deeper commitment to what am I building now. I also think that so many of us, we saw this coming. We knew what was happening this year in terms of the political landscape, right? But we're still adapting. We're still adapting. And so this new moon is also calling us forward. It is an earth sign. It is the sea goat. It is the ambitious goat climbing on the mountain. It represents elders, long term vision, structure, maturity, integrity. It's ruled by Saturn, right? The disciplinarian, the one that invites us into our mastery. It's about becoming the person who can sustain what we desire. Sometimes we dream of what we desire, we even manifest it, and then we're like, oh, I don't have the capacity. We don't talk about building capacity enough in this life, or I think in everyday life. We just like, oh yeah, I want to get married or I want to have kids. Have we built up the capacity? And sometimes the act of getting married, starting the business builds the capacity, and that is called building the plane while we fly. Most of us do that. With this new moon, we get an opportunity to actually build and work on the capacity before we even set on the journey. This is an invitation to redefine success. It's an invitation to redefine what stuckness means. Sometimes it's not stuck, sometimes you're being redirected, right? Let's go beyond productivity. Let's go beyond the image, the hustle of what we think our business or our career should look like, or our lives should look like. Moving towards alignment, moving towards an inner and outer coherence that's going to bring us more joy. When we're thinking in this time of this new moon in Capricorn, this ambitious sign, what am I building? And does it actually matter to me right now? Is it important to me right now? And that's the question we need to ask. Because if we're still going on something that was 5 years ago, it may not be not so exciting right now. And it's okay to change. It's okay to shift. It's okay to evolve. Sometimes us spiritual folks, we get so like, I'm going to do this. You know, there's other kind of spiritual folks that change their goals every day. There's also a bit of an issue with that at times. But the one where we're like stuck in something because we gave our word, I was like that because I'm a Sun Taurus. It's time for us to shift. It's time for shift into present moment, right? So Capricorn, we can look at Capricorn as this gardener of time, right? Ruled by Saturn, master of time, discipline, responsibility without self-punishment, discipline and drive without our burnout, commitment without martyrdom. This is a big deal for us women. It's a big deal for immigrant women, BIPOC women, Latino women, and also just big for us women, period. We are taught to martyr ourselves, to give ourselves up, to sacrifice in order to attain children, the family, the career, the education. Well, what if we could slow things down a bit? We could narrow down our choices and our goals so we don't have to sacrifice. And I get it. Like I'm working, I have two businesses now, the Biz Bruja and Improv Unleashed, two podcasts that I've been leaving to the side a bit, and then working on a YouTube series with Cosmic Trash. I've got Los Complicados, the improv team, performing and getting gigs, and also in a play, a play for kids in Espanol. I'm 7 characters with the Gamut Theater. And then I am also preparing for my one-woman show tour, which I want to talk a lot more about and invite all of you. So far, I have 5 dates in New York City for April, and I have 4 dates in Orlando. So when I get the dates, I'll share it with all of you. I would love to meet you on the road. So there's a lot going on. It's important to me right now. And I'm letting go of what isn't important, right? Remember that energy is currency. It's our currency, right? If we don't have the energy, if we don't have the capacity, we could have all the dreams in the world. So one of the things that I'm rebuilding, because I believe that this new moon is calling us to rebuild a part of our lives that we thought was solid, that we thought was good. And now it's coming into question into 2026. Well, we're like, yeah, this foundation worked till now, but now who am I becoming? What am I building? And what new foundations do I need? Like, because I am doing that one-woman show tour with Perra Puta Loca Bruja, and I'm working on my oracle cards, I've also started training with weights again, because I'm going to need that strength to be able to be on tour. I'm going to need that strength to continue working while I'm on tour. There's a lot going on. And so how do we reach that balance or that place where we see the dream or see what we're unfolding into and take action now to prepare for it. That's how I look at Capricorn as well, right? Preparing and doing what needs to be done because we're willing to become what we're wanting to become. So this is also a relationship reset because we've got Mars and Mercury in Capricorn as well. It's about conscious communication, boundary setting. We have Venus, we have Pluto and Aquarius, deep transformation in relationships and money and values. There is a lot going on in the heavens, and it's really kind of bringing in a fresh energy, even if we're still overwhelmed with everything that's happening in the world and feeling like, how are we going to get out of this? Porque es demasiado, right? It's just too much. We're already seeing the signs astrologically as to the things are in motion. Things, if we continue to have authentic connection, if we continue to strive. When we're thinking of the season in Aquarius, it's about doing things differently. So don't wait to do it the normal way, the usual way, the everyday way, right? How am I still operating from old systems, old conditioning? What kind of connections am I ready to build now within myself and outside of myself? How am I ready to move out of non-hierarchical systems? So this is also a time of a healing edge, right? Because Chiron and Uranus and Saturn and Neptune, they're in an interesting situation. We have squares to Chiron and Aries. This means that old wounds are resurfacing. We may have an internal conflict as really marketing ourselves or putting ourselves out there as healers. But we do have supporting aspects. We have Uranus in Taurus still. It'll go into Gemini next year. So it's innovation, embodiment, new ways forward. Saturn and Neptune in Pisces going into Aries really soon. Dreams meeting discipline. Illusions dissolving, looking at the bare truth, and then doing what needs to be done to make the truth, your dream, a reality. Saturn and Neptune convergence, letting go before building. A lot of times we want to build on top of build, but sometimes that foundation is not sturdy for the next dream that you're unfolding. It may have been really great for the thing that you are living now, but it may not be fabulous for the thing that you're living into, becoming into. So Capricorn, right? There's a lesson as everything, which means that we align ourselves with our true authority, our sovereignty, which is self-trust and integrity, to stop outsourcing the validation, right? To trust ourselves. Success not seen as something that happens overnight, something that it's one thing and it's a one-time thing. It can be earned over time. It's built through consistency rather than urgency. And the important reframe here is that we don't want to burn out. We want to build the capacity for long-term growth. And that's going to be to each person. Each person knows their energy level. Each person knows their capacity. Respecting limits is part of maturity. So what I would invite you into, because I wanted this to be real short, I haven't done one in so long, I was like, I have to do it today. I want to invite you into journaling, spending a bit of time. Because Capricorn to me personally represents the elders, do a little offering for your elders. Is it a plate of food that they used to make? Is it you lighting a white candle for them? I'm about to clean off my altar because it's Monday. I always do it on Monday, right? And I just put fresh water on it because I have a particular system that adds water to their glasses of water, right? To their altar. So is it cleaning out your healing spaces? Do you have an altar, a meditation section, a meditation pillow? If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, clean it out. Where is the space where you do this deep feeling, deep thinking, breath work, healing? It could be your bed. All good. Allow it to be whatever it is. And when you get into that space, allowing yourself to reflect, to close your eyes, to move in deeply. And as you go deeply within yourself, calling in your angels and guides, calling in your wise elders, calling in tus ancestros, those who walked before us, and asking with a lot of patience and love and compassion, what am I ready to commit to in 2026? What structure would actually support my well-being? What must I release to move forward? It is important. Can't take everything with us. So let me repeat that. What am I ready to commit to in 2026? What structure would actually support my well-being? What must I release to move forward? And I invite you that in that time where you're looking at yourself, and know that the new moon in Capricorn happens Sunday, the fullness in the entirety is not just in 2 weeks where we get the full moon. It's when we get the full moon in Capricorn, which will happen in July. So we've got 6 months to slowly building bit by bit the capacity, the manifestation, moving towards our goals. So how are we going to get there? From here, from clearing out and committing and taking grounded action and rebuilding foundation to this vision of ourselves in July, where we are fulfilled in a particular goal, in a particular desire, in a particular dream. And so I invite you, when you go within and maybe write out those questions that I repeated twice, I could do it again. When am I ready to commit in 2026? What structure would actually support my well-being? What must I release to move forward? So important, going within yourself. Choose one grounded intention, just one. Don't make 10, right? Let's just be with one. And then take one small aligned action in the next 2 weeks to move forward, right? And something could be like, I trust my timing, I honor my capacity, I build what can last, right? I allow my inner authority to guide me in all things, and I attract everything that I need at the right time, in the right place, in the right way. I trust my capacity to achieve my dreams and move towards it with dedication, with love and compassion and integrity. And fun, right? Let's not forget that. So my beautiful people, I'm going to pull out a couple of cards about what do we need to know for this new moon, right? For the populace in general, for all of us. And I know that I'm speeding through this a little bit, but I want to make sure that I can still continue to do this because I love y'all. And it's going, I think it's the 7th year already. So what do we need to know for this new moon in Capricornio? Okay, I love it. Okay. And final word. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to be strong, people. We've been strong. We're going to be real strong. Okay. The Strength card. The Strength, it's not just like, oh, I'm strong. It is about managing your inner child. It is about managing your desires. And it's like that impulsivity, right? That desire to tear out your hair and scream your head off because of everything that's happening. You can still do it. Do it in a breathwork session. Do it in a place that's safe. But you're going to be really strong. And this is what we need to know, is that in this new moon in Capricorn, we have the strength of our ancestors. That we've all been through a lot of pain. We've all been through a lot of disappointment in the last years. And it's important for us as we move towards these goals to tap into something that brings us a positive nostalgia, something that feeds our inner child. So I know what we like focus in on Capricorn and discipline and the goals, but the final word is, yeah, you got the strength because, hey, we've been through a lot of loss and pain. This is not looking cute, right? A lot of stress and loss. At the same time, tap into that made you happy as a child to move forward and get things moving in a way that fulfills you. Not just your adult mind that wants to achieve these goals, but also your little kid that still needs love and attention and the joy of play. So I love you all. If you have any questions, if you're looking to do an astrology chart, natal chart for yourself or your business, reach out. There's special rates right now. Usually it's $275. I think it went down to $150. I think so, or $100, one of those. And the readings are usually $150 for half an hour or down at $75. I'm extending until February 2nd. If you're interested, just reach out. Let's do it. And just have so much compassion for yourself. And remember to eat correctly, to take time to drink, to hydrate, to stretch, to move. This is winter in the Northern Hemisphere. A lot of us are, oh, but it doesn't mean that we don't get to stretch, right? Because preparing for movement is also important for our inner animal as we prepare for the spring and the summer ahead. Mucho, mucho amor, fuerza, pa'lante, mi gente. We got this. Love y'all.